Hello.
Hello.
I am Rosanna Barbich.
And I am Jessica Early, and this is
Hearts on Fire, where we teach you how to embrace and activate your life.
Yes.
So, today's topic is, do you speak with the power of love on your tongue or simply out of mere habit? What do you think? What do you do? Do you think you talk?
I speak out of habit.
Yeah.
A lot. I'm working on speaking out of just the power of love, but
Right.
I do tend to speak out of habit. It's like my initial reaction.
Right.
What about you?
I think it depends on the situation I'm in. Like if I'm grocery shopping.
Most situations. Let's like generalize it. We don't
it's I don't know. I think I could speak with a lot more intentionality behind my words. But yeah, I do try to speak out of love in every situation I'm in, or at least encouragement, which is also a part of love. So
Right.
I do try. Maybe not all the time do I succeed, but I try. So let's dive in, shall we? So, what is the power of love? What does the power of love even do? Scientifically speaking, studies have shown that love causes our body to release feel-good hormones, neurochemicals that trigger specific positive reactions. And that was located actually on a website. And the Bible says, however, that love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not arrogant or self-seeking, it is not rude, it does not take pleasure in evil, but rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. And that's 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7.
Mm-hmm.
Based on these definitions, love is positive, produces kindness and goodness, and helps release feel-good emotions in people. In relation to the words we use towards people, do we speak with the law of love on our tongue, or simply out of mere habit? When we speak, are our words releasing positive, kindness, feel-good emotions in people? Do you uplift and encourage others with the words you, or opposite? Like, if you were to look at the words that you speak, do you feel like you encourage and uplift other people, or do you think that people kind of leave you feeling a little bit like maybe indifferent, or just simply like they haven't really been reached? Because every conversation we have the power within our tongue to love on people and to release that conversation with a encouragement or like uplifting that person.
Mm-hmm.
And then how can you change the words you use to love on others? I feel like personally for me recently, sometimes even in the middle of aggravation with my children, choosing to speak kindness and love into their lives rather than the frustration that you feel might be a great way to do that, because your tongue is it's a two-edged sword. You can either speak life or death, even in your frustration. You can train yourself and encourage yourself to do that, and by doing that, it's going to help create a more positive world, especially the more you do that around your family, your friends, your community, the more other people will catch on to that too. So, hi everybody that's on. We're excited to have you.
Yes.
So yeah. So Jessica.
I'm secretly waving.
Right?
Just kidding.
How do you think that you have in the past used your words to either uplift or like, do you think that people have felt uplifted, or do you think that sometimes people feel indifferent after a conversation? I know not all conversations really have that effect on people.
Right.
Sometimes they're just quick or whatever. But have you ever considered like trying to leave people with a smile at the end of every conversation?
I feel like I try to do that, but my personality doesn't come across that way sometimes, and I come off a lot rougher than I sound in my head. My head and my voice are very disconnected.
We'll touch on that a little bit later.
That's
all the fun
another
things
topic.
left to come.
Just kidding. I think mostly though, I've been working, like, especially with my kids, And my husband, but like that's another story.
Yeah.
But in general, I have been working really hard on trying to speak more with positivity and like being intentional, and just like what she said is out of frustration and like anger, I have tend to react it, and then it creates this like negative response that I'm not expecting, and I'm like, it's like almost like doesn't compute, and then I have to like start over, like, okay, so how did that go bad, or why did I get that response out of him, or that wasn't what I was going for. So I have to like think about it and like, okay, next time I have to think about the words I use before I speak. And like with my oldest, we've gone like a whole week now with no accidents.
It's amazing. So
And
excited and
it's
happy for you.
It
is a huge
step
accomplishment
for us, and I can talk more on our story in a much later point, but we'll touch on it throughout. But anyway, it's really more that's a huge step for us when we don't have accidents at all.
Right.
And it's impressive. And he even had his first cavity filling, and he was put like under some medication. He was sedated for it because that's just what they did for him, and it seemed to work. And he still tried to use the bathroom, which was really good. And it was just like there's a lot of positive steps forward in this particular situation. But it's just really exciting that's happening. I know. I almost want to throw myself a party that we've made it a week.
Right?
Just kidding. I have thrown a little party about every day because I'm like, yes! It's like a happy dance. We made it! Another day! Just kidding. Okay, this doesn't have to be a potty talk. That's just where it started.
Yeah. I think for me, my latest challenge has been with my daughter. I love her so very much, but I'm working on creating boundaries, especially when it comes to her and I's things. It's been definitely an interesting week of moments of high possible frustration, but trying to work through them in a positive way. And I've been learning that when it comes to parenting, you can't parent necessarily out of emotion. And you can't parent out of how you feel. You have to parent out of love and discipline. And as I was actually speaking with her today about, I feel like due to just how I was raised personally, discipline is one of those things where I was a little overly disciplined. And it made me, in my spirit, have like a negative reaction to the idea of like really disciplining my children. But after a talk I was in today, actually, it was revealed to me that there is love in discipline. And even Jesus himself disciplines us with love.
Right.
So anytime you go to speak to your children even, it needs to be out of love. And sometimes
loving
even the discipline.
Correction. That's what I'm calling it. That's probably a thing.
Yeah, you have to discipline, but also use a soft tongue when you do.
Why? You can't just like yell at people and get what you want?
If you think about it, okay. So when you're out in the world, whether it be you're out shopping, you're at work, I mean, anywhere you go, if you start talking to people in that loving tone and not just, everyday nonchalantness, but really like whenever you're having a conversation, like look in their eyes and just be very intent with what you say and how you say it, and really focus on adding love into your conversations. It's amazing like the spirit they walk away with, or like the general like expression on their face. It'll almost be like they have been encouraged or uplifted because there will be a slight glimmer in their face. And whenever you end a conversation with somebody, like that's what you want to see, is whenever they walk away, it's not just another mundane ho-hum conversation. You actually created a difference in that person's life, even just in that moment. And it might carry with them throughout the rest of the day. So it's just really important to always make sure that we're not just speaking out of everyday whatever, that we're really trying to intentionally speak out of the love in our hearts, and mostly just positive and encouraging. There might be times where you have to mention something to somebody, but you still even have to use love and discretion when you're doing that, and just doing that between you and them. I think this would also cover, and I know with women it can be a little difficult because you just kind of want to sit there and talk about every little thing, but I feel like it's been laid on my heart to just like even gossip. Like, you have to think about all your conversations and what they revolve around, because even when you're gossiping or talking about somebody else,
you want it to be loving.
You want it to be loving, yeah, because you don't want to speak like painful resentment to somebody that's not even a part of the conversation that you're having. Like, if you're talking about somebody, you need to be encouraging and lifting about them, and even if they have a problem that they've come to you specifically about, you need to keep that between you and them, because you don't want to be casting shade on them with anyone else in your life, because you want anybody else's opinion of them to be directly related to what they think about that person and have nothing to do with any issues you might have with them. All those relationships really need to be holy and uplifting. So just like think about how you talk to people, think about the words you say, all your, discussion topics, whatever it might be, and really focus on trying to make them just positive, encouraging, uplifting, and even if it might be with a random stranger, you never know how you could change somebody's day just by having a positive, uplifting conversation. Compliment goes a long way. So if you're wanting to open up a random conversation with somebody you don't know, compliment them about something that you find appealing about them. You might put a smile on their face, you never know.
Right, because then they have to comment and be like, oh, thank you.
Right. It's those tiny little things that create the biggest change. And that's what we're all about, right? Embracing, activating our lives, and creating a positive, loving change in the world.
I agree.
Because it needs it so badly. And it all starts with us and everyone else around who wants to create that positive change. So, yeah. Anyway, I would encourage you guys to really think about how you use your words, whether your conversations are uplifting and encouraging, or derogatory and mundane blandness. Because to be honest with you, when you have a conversation with somebody,
through life that way though. It's so easy.
You want to live like a vibrating life. You want to live a life of vibrancy. You want to be remembered as somebody who really lived life to the fullest. And the best way to do that is be the most positive, encouraging, loving person you can be. So I would just leave you with that and just pour that blessing on you guys of just positive words in your mouths and a tongue of nothing but love for others. And when we do that, we create a community that is centered around love, and man, that catches on so fast. And everybody around will just
catches on like fire.
Wildfire. So,
just thinking.
Anyway, would you have anything else to add to this?
No. I just mostly like the part that you added gossip in there, because it's so easy to get caught up in.
Well, and if you think about it,
talking about even your kids, maybe even realizing what you're talking about in front or behind your kids' back, because as parents, you usually talk to somebody about them, so that might be a positive. And
it's okay.
That was like something to put out there.
I feel like it's important to say it's okay to talk to like a close confidant about like issues in your life. That's one thing. Talking negatively so badly about somebody that it starts to change the mood of the other person's feelings towards the individual you're speaking about is a completely different thing.
Right? Like, I don't... Yeah. Since we do have this on YouTube now, I don't want my kids coming back to find this and like, that woman... Just kidding.
We just want everybody to feel like they have the ability to positively encourage someone, because we all have that power. God has given us the power of love, which is the biggest power in the universe, and He has given us the power to speak life into people. And if you think about it, when Jesus walked the earth, that's exactly what he did. He spoke life into every one of his situations.
Right.
And as Christ followers,
so that's what we're on a mission to do.
That's what we're exactly called to do.
Starting with our
life.
family.
Mm-hmm. And if you can start it in your home, it will spread beyond your home, to your community, to all those around you. And what a beautiful blessing. What a beautiful legacy to leave.
Right?
Just the power of
legacy to leave behind.
Loving, kind words.
Right.
So I can't think of a better legacy to leave except for positive, encouraging love. Right. And mostly the love of God, because honestly, that's where all love comes from. It's his heart. Love is his heart.
That is true.
So
that's also later.
Yep. We have a whole thing on that. So it's really exciting.
We're covering a lot, guys. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're ready for the next year with us, but this is what's happening.
We're going to dive deep into just love itself, just everything about it. There is like so much coming. I don't know if you guys know this, but we're actually, these lives, we're actually creating a devotional with them.
They're a part of a whole devotional book.
And the devotional has been written, and I'm actually working on a second devotional called Love in Action. So I'm really excited to take you guys on that journey, because it's going to be amazing. We're going to grow so close to God together. It's going to be fun.
Right.
Yep. So anyway, is there anything else that you'd like to add tonight? Or?
No, I think I added all the things.
All right. Well, I hope you guys have a great week. We'd love to hear about how you guys have shared love this past week, just with people in your community. And we'd love to see how speaking love into every situation in your life as much as possible, or even reminding yourself to speak love into random conversations throughout your day, how that is changing your life. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to hear your stories. So post in the comments. Thank you. Have a great night.